Welcome to the top 10 ways to trigger SJWs, and I'll even give you a free one. Just wear a fedora, or some people call this one a trilby. Whatever, I think it's a fedora. Anyway, top 10 ways to trigger SJWs. Number 10, use the wrong pronouns. People get really touchy about this pronoun shit nowadays, and it's nothing as easy as just use she if it looks like a girl and use he if it looks like a boy. You have to contend with trans people who don't transition. It's like, hey, just because I present as a male doesn't mean I'm male. By SJW standards, it would be totally acceptable for me to demand that everyone start calling me she. But it doesn't end there, does it? You got new gender pronouns like fair, em, per, ver, them, her with an I instead of an E. I mean, listen to this sentence. This is, according to SJWs, grammatically correct. Z didn't want to fucking aardvark, but Zem was weak and Z couldn't help Zemself. These people want that to be a real sentence. It's not. 9, dispute the wage gap. For some reason, even though several prominent economists have poked holes in the wage gap, the idea that women are paid 72 cents on the dollar compared to men, it's still taboo to question that. You can't even inject nuance into it. If you just say something as innocuous as, well, we need to look at the different life choices between men and women to see if that accounts for some of this gap. People act like that's ridiculously sexist as a statement. Why? I mean, what does it fucking imply? That women make different choices than men? Well, they fucking do. I didn't make reality. I just live in it. Number 8, have privilege. Privilege is in quotation marks. You don't actually have to have any privilege. You can be poor and stupid with no real prospects in life, but if you got a penis, or you're straight, or your skin is white, then good news. You're one privileged son of a bitch. The downside of your privilege is that it doesn't exist, and SJWs will reflexively hate you for having it. Number 7, watch any movie or TV show or play any video game. Chances are good that no matter what you're watching or playing, there's some deeply sexist or racist shit happening. Number 6, create any movie, TV show, video game, whatever. If you're in the business of creating art or entertainment or of any kind, you might as well just admit right now you're the lowest form of sexist, racist fucking scum there is. You made a TV show and cast mostly white people? You're worse than a Klansman. You wrote a movie where 2 women never have a conversation about geopolitics, philosophy, and literature? You support rape. You made a video game where a pair of CG titties bounce around? Why don't you just admit right now that you're literally Hitler? Number 5, use politically incorrect language. The only way to not offend SJWs with your speech is if you simply stop speaking. I know I use this example too much, but I'm still not over the time that Melissa Harris Perry said that the phrase hard worker is offensive to black people because slaves were the real hard workers. I reviewed a comic on this channel wherein the words, "I would date a trans person," were determined to be transphobic. I mean, that's how ludicrous this shit is. But if you do something like an insensitive Chinese impression, oh, me crude stereotype, why I so one-dimensional? Should have done the slanty eyes for that. Oh, crude stereotype, oh. But I didn't. And they get all fucking flummoxed, like you just raped a baby seal at the fucking, their grandmother's wake or some shit. Number 4, ask them questions. They really don't like to be asked anything. If you ask them to explain their positions, a lot of times you get this speech about how it's not their job to educate you. I mean, what a brilliant fucking tactic. I don't have to defend my positions because I'm not obligated to do so. Well, that's fine, but don't expect me to respect a position that you refuse to even discuss. Another thing they're fond of doing when asked questions is just act like the answers are so obvious that you're scum for even asking them. Like when you ask them, why don't you guys criticize the racist statements of Black Lives Matter? They're just like, how dare you? You're racist to even ask that. Black people can't be racist. Number 3, subject them to online harassment. Online harassment is when you offer counterpoints to SJWs online. Insolent worm, you think you're worthy of arguing with us? Fools! This is a bannable offense on Twitter. Just ask Milo Yiannopoulos. Number 2, be a cis-het white male. If you can be cis and straight and white and male, you literally don't have to do anything else. You're already on the SJW shit list for life. Even if you're a cis-het white male SJW, they'll still hate your rotten guts, and they'll just suck out your soul slowly, like what they're doing to Steve Shives. And number 1, the number 1 fucking way to piss off SJWs, to trigger them, is just simply to exist. Because let's face it, you don't have to be a cis-het white male. SJWs are triggered and offended by basically everything that exists. Carrots? Too phallic. They reinforce gender norms. Wall sockets? Look how they are violated against their will by plugs. And the plugs derive power from this act of electric rape. Speaking of rape, what about grape soda? Well, if you get rid of the G, it's rape soda. So that's obviously rape culture asserting itself. A copy of the feminine mystique? Hell, it could be used to spank a woman with. Actually, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to go try that. If you liked this list, subscribe to my channel. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out.